Yes, we're recording now. Ah, that's a good start to an episode. Hello, wonderful and wild people of the internet, and welcome to the first ever episode of Dice and Downfall. Here we have our cast today. If everyone could take a turn and introduce themselves, their character, and their names. My name is Joey Hawkins. I'm your dungeon master for today. Parker, what's your class? What's your name? And what's your character's name?
My class is a druid. My race is phytoid, like a tree guy.
He's a tree person.
And my name is Stephen the Heathen.
I still love that name. It's such a good name.
Thanks.
Noey, your turn.
My guy's a thief. He's a halfling, so he's pretty much a hobbit. And his name's Thundercat.
Thundercat's such a good name.
He's 22 years old.
Excellent. Josh.
My name of my guy is Rand. I'm showing it out to class, even though none of you guys can see this. It's great for podcasts. I'm a wood elf, and I'm good at shooting bows.
Did you get your little cousin to draw that?
Yeah.
Max is not here, but his character is Timtam. Timtam is a human wizard. Yeah, I think that's about it to his character.
Nice.
He's 32 years old.
Oh, I'm 26. No, I didn't say that.
I'm 612.
For those who are interested, we're playing a homebrew of my own creation. So it's not your traditional Dungeons & Dragons playthrough. So a few things might be confusing. If you want, you can look in the description to find out the rules and the way we play and the way it all works.
There's rules.
Yeah, there's rules, Noey. You break them anyways.
You use them.
No, you don't. Okay. So, without further ado, we'll launch right into the first ever game of Dice and Downfall. The three of you are sitting at a table in a tavern. A wood elf comes by and pours each of you a mug of mead on the house. You look to your companion, Rand, who is in a towel as he is shook by your last adventure, as he does not recall it, and you two will have to inform him as to what happened. So, would you like to explain to Rand exactly what happened?
I can go for a rough estimate. It has been a while though, Rand. As far as I know, there was a bee kingdom underground where an evil bee king was controlling a lot of bees, and also you and Timtam with bee stingers that were in the back of your heads. He was using them to control you.
He was inside me.
Sure. And me and Thundercat had to go underground and save you, and I found magical bee glasses that I'm now wearing that help me to control bees, and that was part of how we were able to defeat the bee king and save you by pulling the stingers out.
Okay. So the second time I'm in control. So I'm great at this, clearly.
Did I
4-year-old.
miss anything?
Rand's caught up. He seems to know what's going on. Thundercat's remaining oddly silent. Are you just drinking?
I'm just drinking.
Can I just chug mine and Thundercat?
Can we see who chugs the fastest?
Okay.
Do we have a race to see who chugs the
Absolutely.
fastest?
Everyone roll a d20 to see who drinks their drink the fastest.
16.
Shit.
17. Oh, you got
Yeah! Real life! Real life!
Wait. Does my speed help me with that?
No.
Oh,
You can't go off stats. This is a dice rolling drinking game.
So I won.
So, Stephen the Heathen rolled a 3. He kind of chokes on his drink. He doesn't quite finish it all the way. His plant biology naturally rejects alcohol. Thundercat slams back his drink thinking he had already won and he had finished it with a roll of 16. But Rand pans it back just a little bit faster, just ever so slightly.
Damn it, bitch.
After you guys let the alcohol get to your system, you all hear a voice in your head as it's speaking to you telepathically. It's the voice of the Queen that you all recognize, and she beckons you into the Great Hall as she has another mission to send you guys upon.
I hope this is a normal field trip.
With the queen? No way!
Can we steal more stuff?
How far is that? How far is the Great Hall?
It's in the center of town.
Okay, so we're already in that town.
Yeah, you're all in the same town.
Where's my wife?
Your wife?
Yeah.
Your wife is
She's
setting
in
up
your
camp.
bag, remember? No, she's in the bag.
Yeah, but she came out of the bag, I'm assuming.
No,
Yeah,
she didn't.
she would be dead if
I
she
thought
did
she
not.
stayed in the bag.
No,
For context-
I have a child. Where's
For
my child?
for context,
I have a child.
let me explain. During the last adventure, Josh discovered a little bag that allow him to peer into pocket dimensions. It acts as like an infinite storage chamber. However, when you put something in, it ages incredibly quickly. So he put an apple in, and it immediately rotted. During an adventure, his wife was worried about his safety, so pregnant with their child, the wife went into the bag, came out like 60 years later. However, she's a high elf, so it didn't really age her all that much. And she came out with their child at the age of 16. And now they've set up a small camp, and they're starting to take care of themselves. And the wife more just takes care of the child as they're all growing up happy and healthy. So
You missed your child's youth.
You missed the first 16 years of your child's life.
I'm closer to dating my child than I am to dating my wife. I'm 26, my child's 16.
That's
weird.
And like that, it's weird.
It's a weird way to put it.
Anyways.
Alrighty.
It's a weird situation.
Let's go see the queen.
And on that cheery note,
So why?
you exit the tavern to see a bustling metropolis. People cutting back and forth as a giant, sprawling marketplace is set up in front of you. It's a traditional market with tents of bright colors sprouted around and people of every race walking among. High elves carrying delicious loaves of bread as they walk across. Orcs carrying weaponry for them to sell. Off in the distance, you see the small river and the bridge that leads over it to the giant castle with the giant courtroom in the middle.
Alright.
So you're more than welcome to do whatever you want.
Should we go straight there, or do you guys want to look around at all?
Can I look around and see if there's anyone who would be easy to pickpocket?
There's quite a few people around there. So, but namely, right in front of you, there's an orcish man. He's carrying 5 or 6 swords in his arms. It's kind of hard to tell. He's got a slick ponytail that seems to be sort of glued to the back of his head, as if to cut down on wind resistance. And he's got pockets that seem to be filled with something, but you're not sure what. They're definitely bulging out of his pockets.
Pickpocket?
Alright, try to pickpocket him.
Pockets filled with bees.
8,
What's your sneak skill? Or pickpocket skill, rather?
3.
Okay, so that you successfully get your hands in his pockets. Inside, you can't see it, but it's a weird little mesh of like small squarish shapes. They're odd and dented, but you have your arm in there. Do you want to pull a few out, or do you want to just leave it?
Can I just take them all?
Congrats, you now have 64 human teeth.
Nice.
That's a win. That's a win.
I'm
You guys
pretty
want
sure
some
they're
teeth?
human.
You guys want
What?
some teeth?
They're human for sure?
He absolutely knows they're human.
Oh.
You want some teeth?
How do you
You
absolutely
want
know
some
they're
spare
human?
teeth?
Are they worth anything in this world?
Maybe if you sell them to the right person, you might know that.
Can
Sell
I try?
them back
can,
to
can
the
I try
orc.
some? Just a few of them, not all of them.
Can you weave? Can you like
Okay.
tie them onto a necklace and wear them all?
You could try if you want to roll crafting for that.
No, I'll just hold on to them for now.
Alright, so right in your inventory you have 64 human teeth.
64.
They're not pleasant teeth either, they're like rotted teeth. What?
That's a cool number.
64?
Yeah.
I like to think so.
Oh.
Are you just checking out your inventory?
Yeah, I'm just looking at my inventory.
Since when did you get a top hat?
I don't know.
I don't remember you getting a top hat, but I'm cool with it.
I think that might have been when I was just asking for things for my character to start with.
I see.
I think I randomly threw that in.
Fair enough. Okay. So you witness Thundercat reach into an orc's pockets, pull out 64 teeth, and pocket them. The other 2 of you are still in the marketplace. You can decide to go in and shop some more. You can go into the castle. It's all up to you.
Can I go to whatever the busiest public area is?
Okay. You turn the corner, and you can see a crowd of people swarmed around one tent, where one man stands atop in a light vest and a purple shirt. He's throwing sparks in the air, and you see him lift up an object without touching it, and you can tell by all of the people gawking that he's a magician.
Okay. Can I don't want to stand like right beside him, but I want to be like in this area with a lot of people.
Mhm.
And I want to start playing my piccolo, and I want to put the top hat out for people to put money into.
Okay, so standing off to the side of the crowd, you tip your top hat onto the floor, and you begin to play your piccolo. Can you roll the dice to see just how good you are at playing it? That's a 6.
That's a 6.
Okay.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
squeak
so-
out a few notes.
Still learning.
People can tell you haven't been to the Bard's College or anything like that. But, you know, the crowd hears you're playing. Even the magician kind of stops at your sour notes to kind of like aware of it. And like a few people throw in some gold. Some out of pity, some out of just being there. You get 4 gold.
Alright.
Can I start dancing next to him and throw the hats?
Sure, give me an acrobatics roll.
Okay. Give me 1 second here.
Do you want me to play a second song for you then, Josh?
Yes.
Okay, I'll
For
roll
sure.
play a second song.
And then I just kind of like take my shirt off and roll it into the form of a hat.
Okay, so you have your hat, you have your shirt wrapped around your head.
No,
Like
I
a-
want it on the ground so that people can give me
Oh,
my
so you have a
dancing
you have a shirt laying on the ground for people to put money in
formed in a hat.
for your dancing.
Yes.
Okay, roll it. Okay, that's an 18. That's an 18. So, the music's playing out of your piccolo. And again, it's a good song. It's not quite good enough for people to like start swarming around you, but you have your small little following. But Josh's dancing is really starting to pull people in. Rand is doing moves that most people don't see. A lot of people hypothesize he went to the Bard's College or that he's incredibly drunk. There's not really a way to tell. But either way, Rand, you earned 13 gold based off of your dancing. So 13 people threw a gold coin onto your ratty old shirt and gave it to you. Parker, you earn 12 gold for your piccolo playing. Whether it's
Nice.
due to the company of Josh or your own skill is up to you.
It is up to me. Now I have like 1% of Noah's gold.
How much gold does Noah have? Again?
3,965.
Yeah, Thundercat robbed a bakery in the past.
And you got like 20? I got rolled a 20 on it or something?
Yeah, you had a critical and ended up getting like over 4,000 gold, I think it was. Because you picked his safe or something, or his
And then
pockets.
stole his whole entire life from the family.
Yeah.
Stole his kid's
Yeah.
future. He's not going to college now.
He stole their kids' college savings fund. Anyways, so once again, you all stand in the thriving market. You finish playing music, the crowd is back looking at the magician as he pulls a rabbit out of a hat. Josh has stopped dancing and has put his shirt back on. I hope it's his call. And Thundercat has joined you once again with his pocket full of teeth.
Kind of awesome.
For context, Noey has an enchanted cape that goes off of his skill Possum Blooded, in which he falls over, and if he rolls below a 7 on a d20, he pretends to be dead, and everyone believes he's dead. And his enchanted cape, basically, if he successfully rolls for that ability, he becomes entirely invisible to the entire world around him. So Noey's going to attempt to go invisible right now.
Yes!
Okay.
5.
Everyone witnesses Noey fall to the ground in a lifeless corpse, and the cape covers him, and he's gone. He's just vanished in front of your very eyes.
I'll just follow them.
But
Just in the shadows.
do we know about? Have you ever told us about this skill?
I don't believe he has. I think he's just done
Can I
it.
talk to them even though I'm not there?
Yeah,
They can
but
hear
like
me.
they'll hear you.
Can I be like, hey guys, I have a cape that makes me invisible if you haven't realized that now?
Are you just saying exactly that?
Yeah.
All right.
That's...
As you're cleaning up your gold, you hear a voice get really close to your ears and say, "Hey guys, just so you know, I have a cape that makes me invisible. Just so you know that if you haven't figured that out by
I'm
now,
not dead.
I'm not dead."
I'm just not here.
What was that voice
Can I
from?
feel him behind me?
You can like hear him here, so like you want to try and like hit him
No.
or like touch him.
No. No, leave me alone.
Give me a perception check to see if you can.
I want to do it too.
That's a 20. You straight up just put your hand back and just smash into like Noe's face. You can just feel him standing behind you.
Can I grab the cape? Because my hand's on it. I want to grab that cape. I want to rip that shit off.
Yes. Roll a d20.
No.
No, you can roll a d20 to resist. Ooh, that's a 9. So you guys are caught in a struggle. So Noe's pulling on
Can
one
I also
end.
grab the cape?
Sure, roll.
No.
Woo!
Leave my cape
Josh,
alone.
Josh's hands sort of slip off the cape and he's not able to quite grab it. However, Noe and Parker both have a grip on it and they're both pulling on
Don't
either
fuck up
end.
my cape, man.
Rips in half.
Be cool.
They're caught in the struggle. Noe's still invisible because the cape is covering him mostly.
Did he fuck up my cape?
The cape is currently being torn in between.
Fuck you,
I
man.
want to tear it. Just
Alright,
get it off.
I'm gonna let go of the cape, but I'm gonna sting him with one of my bees.
Okay, roll a d20 to control the bee. Okay, yeah. So, you let go of the cape and you fly backwards. No, he's still invisible. But while the Parker was pulling on the cape, a bee flies under it and stings you in the ankle. You have a little bit of a swollen ankle right now. It doesn't do anything right now, but it might work into something later in the future.
Alright, you guys ready to go see the queen?
You guys have successfully avoided going to the queen by just doing nonsense, and I appreciate that.
Love it. Wait, throw some teeth at the magician.
Sorry, what?
Well, if I throw the teeth at him, will you know I'm there?
Don't fuck with the magician.
If you throw the teeth at the magician and successfully hit him, odds are, yes, he will know you're there because you threw teeth at
Okay,
him.
never mind. I'll save them for a better time.
Put
Alright.
him in his coin thing.
No, I'll save them for a better time.
Okay. So do you make your way over to the queen's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still invisible, right?
Yes, you are. You just
cool.
have a swollen ankle.
Alright.
Alright. So, as you approach the bridge, you walk across. It's lined with guards in red and gold outfits as they hold their spears aloft. You walk past them and two open the big grand doors open to the courtyard where the queen sits on a small bench. She's wearing a green robe and a red dress. She welcomes you in with a hearty smile and beckons you to sit down on these 3 wooden chairs she has set up for you.
So
Thanks,
fast.
Queen, for the wooden chairs.
Alright, I want to sit on a chair.
Alright.
I'm ready. Let's sit on this chair.
Parker sits down. Stephen the Heathen sits down. Do you guys join him?
I judge the queen for her wooden chairs.
Oh, come on, she's trying her best.
And I give her a look at disdain and then sit on the chair.
Stain.
She doesn't see you, so...
Is there a chair out for me, though?
Yes, Thundercat. There's a chair out for Thundercat.
I'm gonna move it a bit and then sit on it.
The queen watches the chair scoot a little bit and sits down. Okay. The queen speaks. And she says, "Thank you all so much for coming at my beck and call. Now, as you know, the town has run amok with these paranormal activities lately. And you, being my little task force out to deal with these sort of things, feel like you should be aware of the next upcoming threats. Unfortunately, I figured you guys would have been able to notice these things ahead of time, but I put way too much faith in you as it is." The queen takes a small sip out of a cup of wine, and she looks at you with judging eyes. The queen continues to speak. "There's been a small issue with the town. A lot of people coming out of the woods complaining about a manticore taking and pillaging and murdering all of their friends. Their livestock has been destroyed several times, and farms have been ransacked in the night. Now, all I ask of you is just to merely investigate it. Simply go out into the woods, take a look around, see what you can find." She leans back, crossing her legs, taking another sip of wine.
She was much nicer to us last time.
Was she? I wasn't here last time you guys talked to her.
So is the manticore like the Greek one?
Which one is the what's a manticore? Can I
A
ask
manticore-
Her that? Can I ask her what that is?
Yes.
Wanna ask her? Okay.
I'll ask
So
her.
she hears a voice coming out of nowhere as the invisible chair asks what a manticore is. The queen speaks thusly. "The manticore has the body of a lion, the tail and wings of a dragon, and the face of a man. It is up to you to seek this threat out and destroy it.
I thought we were just supposed to investigate it.
How much do we
Investigate
get
it,
paid?
but if it proves to be a threat, then you must destroy it in the name of your queen, country, and kingdom."
I don't care how much you get paid.
Hey Siri, how do you tame a manticore?
The Siri...
Okay. I found this on the web for how do you tame.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Wow.
The queen... The queen throws her eyes back and looks at you. You will be paid the same amount as last time. Rather generously, mind you.
I want double.
I'm fine with that. I'll do this mission alone.
The queen suspects you will do her job, and she just gets up and walks back into the castle. You're left in the courtyard, and you're all sitting on these wooden chairs, and you can see that there's a beautiful garden along a stone crosswalk that leads to closed doors, guarded by guards.
Josh,
Sneak in, please.
Josh, if you really don't like those wooden chairs, you should just put them in your pocket.
Can I just walk in? I'm still
Let 'em
invisible,
age
right?
And pull them back out.
What?
Can I throw all the chairs in my pocket dimension?
Okay, so you try to put a chair into a small bag, like no bigger than this.
You got his wife
This
in
small
there.
little bag. Oh, you know what? You
That's
got
great
it.
for podcasts.
Okay, so you managed to put the chairs in the pocket dimension. How long do you leave them there? You just want to put them in there and just forget about them?
Well, off
So
the
they turn to
until we
dust.
come back.
All right, so you've got
It's like a black hole in your
You've got
pocket.
3 wooden chairs in the black hole
Yes.
the black hole purse.
It's a satchel.
I like that name. No, it's a purse.
It's first.
Okay, so what do you two do?
Can you sneak into the
Thundercat.
guards guarding, please?
Can I sneak into that place? Can I just walk straight into
The door is heavily guarded and heavily
Is
locked.
it closed?
Yes.
Me and Parker make a distraction.
I want to go find the manticore.
Alright, I'll just follow Parker. He's probably,
Fine, we'll follow
probably the
Parker.
best idea. Me and Josh only went any direction.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Hilarious.
big drunker, so this is going to get worse as we go.
So, the queen tells you via telepathy that you need to go out during the night, as that's when all the attacks seem to happen in the far north woods. So, you guys have approximately 3 hours left to spend in the town before you have to make it out to the woods. So, we'll start with Parker. So, what do you want Stephen the Heathen to do? What does he do?
Okay, first I want to go to the general store.
Okay.
Okay, then I want to ask him, and I want to say, or her, I don't want to assume who's working at this store.
Okay, well, what do you want to go for the general store for?
Honey.
Okay. So as you approach the general store, a human man with buff arms and a small white shirt looks at you and he says, welcome. It's been a while since we have customers on market day. Please come in. You walk forth and you see him as he offers you various wares across his table of just general items. Some weapons, some arrows, some potions, a few bits of food. He asks, what can I do you for on this fine evening?
Do you have any honey?
He looks a bit perplexed and goes, I'll take a look downstairs. He takes a small few steps and goes down the basement. He comes back up with a few jars of honey. Yeah, we have a few of these. They're simple black honeycombs, but they'll do you just fine.
Do they have like a label on them or anything?
You look, they just seem like small, unlabeled jars.
Oh. I want to ask him where he got them. Seems kind of sketchy.
We forget where we get things, buying and selling. They just sort of come and go. You're welcome to taste it. He takes off the lid and offers you to taste a bit of the honey.
I'll taste a bit of the honey. Does it?
You stick your finger in, you taste it, and it tastes like honey. It is honey. He just can't remember where it came from. It's just honey.
All right.
Are we in a store right now?
Parker's in the store right now.
Can I go in the store too?
Okay, so as you taste the honey, Thundercat walks into the store with you.
I'm still invisible,
With Josh.
though, right?
Yes.
Thank God. I was going to make sure before I do something
Ran.
stupid.
The remainder of your party comes into the store with you.
I want to buy the jars of honey. I also want to buy 2 health potions.
Okay. He scratches his head as he looks back and he has to count the numbers on his fingers. He goes, okay, that's 15 gold for each pot of honey, and 2 health potions of 5 gold apiece. He thinks about it long and hard. He gets out a scroll and a small piece of paper and he begins to tally it out.
Say it's 20 gold.
Oh! Yes, I suppose you're right. Yes, okay, that's fine. Yes, 20 gold, please.
All right, I give him 20 gold.
Alright.
Can I buy 10 health potions?
10 health potions.
Health potions.
Well, you gotta ask
Josh is
the
looking to get beat up real soon.
the owner for that.
Owner of this fine establishment.
He
Can I
looks
have-
he looks at you after solving the math problem and goes, "What?
Can I have 5 health potions?
5 health potions? Oh, jeez. Okay.
10. That's 10 gold.
10. Oh my God, we don't have that many.
You have 5 health. You have 5 health potions.
We just sold our last 2.
What the fuck, Parker? Okay, I want to go somewhere where there's health potions.
Wait, before we go,
Yes.
can I pickpocket the owner?
Oh.
Okay. First, give me a stealth roll to make sure that you're undetected on your way in.
20.
He has no idea where the hell you are.
You forget who he is.
I don't know what that
That's a
is.
6.
A 6?
Do you have anything in pickpocket?
Yeah, I got a 3.
3. That's enough.
Cool.
So you pick his pockets, and inside you find a broken top toy,
Okay.
5 gold.
Okay. How does it? But he just gave me like 20 gold.
Well, he puts it in a lockbox.
He's gonna register.
Damn it. Okay.
So, 5 gold. The scroll that he just used to tally up all the gold.
I lost my pencil.
A letter. A small pocket knife. Bits of wax. And a small necklace with wooden beads.
I'll take the necklace as well. That's
Okay.
the gold. I'll leave the rest. Fuck.
As you pull out the necklace, you begin to inspect it and realize that it reads Jenna on each of the beads.
Oh.
I'll keep it.
No! No! Damn it.
You should have heard the other shopkeep. Don't feel bad for it. Fucking wouldn't be.
So, Rand turns as he's disappointed in their lack of health potions and vanishes off into the rest of the market. Parker, do you follow him?
Yeah, I'll go with Rand.
I'll follow them too.
Okay, but you have the guy had no idea you were there ever.
Yeah.
So you just kind of walk out with them as the door closes. And you make your way to the alchemy shop. There's a small halfling. He's a half-elf. And he's gathering up all of his vials. As you all walk in, he does a small jump and he goes, "We're closed! Go away!" And he tries to throw all his books behind a shelf.
I try to talk to him as an elf brother and ask him if I can please have some health potions before they're officially closed.
Come on,
We can see him.
Okay. Roll streetwise.
And if it doesn't work, can I roll an intimidation roll?
Okay. He looks at you. He's looking up because he's only like 2 feet tall. He says, "Listen, brother. We're closed. I said we're closed." And in a huff, he starts throwing vials behind the desk, and you hear one shatter, and he gets...
Sounds like
He
an
runs
episode
off.
of Drake and Josh.
He's in a big rush to go home.
Can I throw a quick intimidation roll?
Okay, so you're gonna try and intimidate him?
I got 2 intimidation points.
Okay, so please
No.
describe what you're gonna do to intimidate him.
Yeah, Josh, I wanna know.
He's a small half-elf.
I'm taller than him?
Yes, he's 2 feet tall, Josh.
You're like 6 feet. God damn, I feel bad. I don't want to do it. I changed my mind.
Can I sneak in and steal some health potions for Josh?
Can I ask him what's wrong?
I mean, Rand, my bad. Yeah, can you go steal some health potions?
Okay, so
Off the shelves or something?
roll stealth. I'll get to you later,
Okay.
but roll stealth. That's a 7. Do you have any points in stealth?
Yeah. Stealth, I have 4.
4. Okay. So yeah, you disappear amongst the shelves of books he's got that lead in, and you can smell the thick smell of brimstone in his store. It smells odd, but that's probably from all the chemicals and materials he uses when he's crafting. Yeah, and you make your way past the counter, and you can see several vials filled with a red liquid.
Are they all the same red liquid, or are they all?
They're all the same red
Okay.
liquid.
That's a health potion, right? It's always red, right?
No.
I think so.
Good enough for you?
You've seen a health potion. You know they look like health potions.
Drink
Oh,
one.
then I'll take them
Drink
all.
one.
Okay, you have 7 health potions.
Cool, I'll pluck it out and give them to
So
Josh.
they are
I'll give
health
them to
potions
Rand.
for sure.
Beauty.
Yes, they are health potions. So you currently have them in your inventory.
I'll keep,
Before you
I'll
give them...
keep, I'll keep 2. Actually, I
Okay.
think I have some on me. I still have 5.
The high elf halfling, as you haven't learned his name yet, is still just running around the store with just in a total frantic, throwing books onto the shelves, throwing potions in there, throwing herbs in his pocket, just in a total flurry trying to get everything closed.
I want to ask him what's wrong.
Yeah.
Why is he so upset?
He tells you, I have a meeting with the Magicians Guild in a matter of hours. I have to be there if I'm going to make it on time. This is my third late meeting. If I'm any more late, they'll kick me out. My name is Jeremy, he says, as he looks at the floor.
That makes sense.
He then proceeds to slig back out of a flask he keeps tucked in his small little pocket purse. He goes, I need to go. You all need to leave. And he starts pushing on your shins
He doesn't know I'm there.
with his tiny
Can I
hands.
just hide in the store until he fucks off and then rob his entire place?
Okay, so you're staying in the store.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
Okay.
He's
I
pushing
guess-
on
Just
Parker.
hang on.
He's pushing on Stephen the Heathen and Rand's feet to try and get them out of the store.
I'll leave if he's that frazzled.
Yeah, I'll leave too.
Okay.
Stop playing with snow, Josh.
Okay. So he closes the door. He locks it. He puts his arms against it as you guys leave, and he goes, "No, you can see all this, so we're gonna deal with you first."
Okay.
So, you then see him take the keys, and he's adjusting all the locks, and he puts the keys back in his coat pocket right next to his heart, and you see him exit out the back door, and you hear him lock that too. You are currently alone in a store.
Fire! Fire!
You can't influence him, he's there by himself.
Can I check around for anything that'd be like worth like taking or like any money anywhere?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
2.
You can see that he's got these big bookshelves filled with ancient tomes that you can't read as they're in languages you can't possibly comprehend. He's got a small strong box at the top, and it looks way too complicated for you from where you are.
Can I try again? Rolling again?
Okay, yeah, sure, go for it.
I got time. 16.
Alright. So as you get closer to the strong box, you see it's made of iron. It's got a small wooden lock, and it seems rather complex, but you're fairly confident. Along as next to the desk, you see small papers that are receipts of everything he's sold, and a big logbook of everyone that's come in. A small trinket pocket watch, and a little bag filled with certain herbs. Just small green leaves.
Can I pick the lock?
Sure, roll lockpick.
Wow.
I got a skill of it in 1.
Uh,
Probably still doesn't work, right?
You jam your lockpick in the lock, and it doesn't quite open. You're unable to open it anymore.
I can't try it again?
No, it's currently jammed.
Okay, is there anything to start a fire?
It's a wood lock. It's a wood lock.
Can I light the lock on fire?
If you can find... if you could somehow find an adequate way to start a fire, then I suppose, in theory, yes, you could burn off the wooden lock.
Can I start chucking potions around? See what
What?
happens?
Just knocking things off the counter? Okay,
Just, like,
first of
throw
all,
them at it, see what happens.
you haven't found any potions yet, other than the health potions.
Half of them are probably poison anyways.
Okay,
If they
fine.
just chuck shit
Can I
over
can I search for some way to leave them?
it. Suck it. Josh.
Well, the front door has been barred and locked with several different locks and several different pulleys, so it looks a bit too complex. However, the back door looks like it would just open with a simple push.
Can I kick down the back door then?
Okay, give me a strength roll.
Simple push. Let's take it down. Is that a 1?
That's a 7.
Oh.
That's an adequate amount of strength to knock it down. More than you needed, as the door just pops open. The lock was barely hanging on by a few simple screws.
Wow.
You pop the lock off and you're out behind the store.
What up, guys?
What up?
Well, you're in a back alley. They're at the front of the store. You're at the back.
Are we waiting for him?
No, I was gonna get to you guys now.
Can I run around and say, hey, I popped open the back door if you guys want to go rob that place?
Oh!
So as you're regathering yourself, Thundercat appears to at the front of the store and tells you that, yeah, he's popped open the back door and you can go rob the place blind if you want.
Alright.
I feel like we go in the place.
Is there anything in there that is worth robbing? Because we haven't been in this one.
No.
Well, I want to check it out.
Okay. So, you
I'll
being
go
the
in.
reluctant... Okay. So you all venture into the back of the store. All you guys can see is there's books that you can't read, there's herbs that you can't identify, and there's a giant cabinet filled with undefinable potions with no
Got the
labels.
pocket watch.
And a pocket watch. There's a pocket watch next to the register.
I instantly take the pocket watch.
Oh, there's a strong box that's been utterly shut down because Noey jammed a lockpick in there.
I
What kind of
instantly.
lock?
It's a wooden lock.
Oh, I have a fire rod.
Do you actually?
Yes.
Alright, yeah, you do have a fire rod. So you want to cast Fireball at the safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good move.
So, you set up the fireball, you set up the safe in the center of the room, the wooden log facing you. You stand at the opposite end of the room. Thundercat and Rand are hiding behind you as you try to cast Firebolt out of the rod. Can you roll accuracy for me?
Oh boy.
14. That hits, and the fireball shoots out of the rod. An entire ball of magma flies towards it at a breakneck speed, burning the wooden lock alive and starting to singe the iron of the safe, and it's left as a white hot ball. As it begins to corrode away and drip, you see a small pearl on a little pedestal, untouched by the fire, and that was what was in the safe.
I want to grab it.
Okay.
Grab it.
I want to take it.
As you look in the pearl, you can see that it's not an average pearl. It's like nothing bigger than a large marble, and there seems to be a smoke that's flying inside.
I want to take it.
All right. As you look at it, it glows pure white.
Okay.
That's it. You look at it and it's white, and you pocket it.
Can I detect anything that I would want?
You
Wait.
can. All you see are books, herbs, and potions.
Can I
Should I just write this as pearl or what?
Just put a smoky pearl.
take 4 books?
4 books?
Yes.
Just random books?
Yeah.
Okay. Those
Picture books.
are ancient tomes. And you just take the first 4 you see off the shelf. Is that what you're doing?
I take 1 off of each shelf.
1 off of each shelf.
Yes.
Okay.
The
So,
ones that look old.
you can't read them, so write 4 mystery books and make sure they weigh 25 pounds
Altogether?
altogether.
Can I just throw them in the... No, I don't want to do that.
They're all rather large books.
25 pounds. That would put me over my carrying capacity.
They each weigh 25 pounds?
No, they all weigh 25 pounds together. Until you can get them identified, they'll stay all together.
That makes sense, actually. Okay.
Okay. So now that you've all taken what you want out of the store, what do you guys do?
You lost your pencil too?
Should we-
This is Parker's pencil.
I'll tell you guys right now, you have an hour before you guys should be at the forest,
Oh,
and it's a
should we-
45-minute journey.
Should we start heading there?
Yeah,
wait, it's 45... Oh, okay.
We can get there early.
Want to start
If you're not early, you're late.
let's go. Yeah, let's get there.
I like that. Okay, let's go.
Okay. You all make your way to the forest. Lit only by moonlight, you make your way to the center of a clearing. You decide it's a good place to set up camp. You build a small little fire and wait for the manticore to come. So you're all sitting along the fire. Is there anything you want to do?
I want to drink one of the health potions.
Okay, you drink a health potion. Did you have any damage in your health?
I think I did, actually, but I just wanted to make sure it was a health potion.
You just wanted something to drink.
Yeah.
I want to play.
I did.
Piccolo
I
with
did.
my
But I think
friends.
so. Yeah, I did. I did have health. So I had 7 health. Well, I mean, I had 9 health beginning.
Just
now I have 7.
Heal yourself 5 points
Okay, so
and remove a health potion from your inventory.
wait, can I take off the burned and it doesn't heal my 3rd toe, does it?
It doesn't heal your toe, but it hurts your burn.
Okay, so I heal. So no burn and.
As you all sit around the fire, you hear a small piccolo tune being played as Stephen the Heathen begins to play a small little tune. Yes, Thundercat, what do you do?
I have some potions to give Josh.
Okay.
I have to give him 7 potions.
You're handed 7 potions. 7 health potions.
I want to play Piccolo for my friends.
Okay. A small, jaunty tune begins to be played out of the piccolo, and it raises all of your spirits a little bit and makes you feel a bit safer in the dark.
I start dancing again.
Just start dancing?
Yeah.
Alright, go for it, sure. Y'all are waiting to catch a manicore, but alright, dance.
Can I roll for detect life?
Detect life.
Yeah, that seems like an actually useful thing to do right now.
All right.
Are you implying me and Josh
So
are
you're
not
I have a
useful?
spell that detects life.
All right. So
I have the same spell.
roll to detect life.
So it's there.
15.
It casts. Other than your two friends, you can detect no life around you.
Cool. Alright, keep playing dancing. I don't care now.
Okay.
I
Now.
was just checking.
Fair enough. I have a spell it's called Summon Familiar.
Mm-hmm.
What is that summon?
That summons a animal that's based off of the character's spirit, and basically they will fight alongside them and add as like a little beneficiary in battle.
Do I know what my familiar is?
No,
Do I have like a certain amount of times I can summon it?
you can. You can
would it
only
be
summon.
a-
Sorry,
Go ahead.
you can summon it once in every battle.
So it's not a battle right now, so I could just summon it to see what my familiar is?
Yeah.
Alright, I want to do that.
Okay. Let me just check the rule book, and see just how many points you need to summon it.
20 points of what?
How much you need to roll in order to summon familiar.
Oh, okay.
You have to roll 11 or higher. It's a rather forgiving spell, so roll the dice. That's 20.
Do I get 2?
As you play your piccolo, a small wisp of blue energy comes, and behind you outsteps a white phantom crocodile.
Aw.
It takes its first few steps into life, looks around with its beady eyes, and begins to rest on a log.
Nice.
Like it.
I want to pet it.
You want to pet it?
Yeah.
Can I
As-
pet too?
As you both try to put your hand on the crocodile, your hands go through it as it's made of wisps of blue energy.
Aw.
Pure ethereal magic.
So this is like a thing from Harry Potter.
It's a familiar, Josh.
Patronus.
Is that a thing from Harry Potter?
It's a familiar, Josh.
Seems like a thing from Harry Potter.
It's a familiar, Josh!
If anything, that's a thing from Elder Scrolls.
It's a... Fuck it. Alright, anyways. So, do you all just decide to wait and see if the manticore shows up?
Yeah, let's wait it out.
Okay. You've been waiting for 45 minutes, and as you wait around, you all start to get a little dizzy. Whether it's from fumes of the fire, or just the thought of waiting around in the dark for a killer monster, you all just sort of start to phase in and out. Your eyes start to
I
close.
want to ask my familiar to go check around.
Okay. As you look at it, the familiar already knows exactly what you're thinking.
Oh, nice.
As you summoned it, and it's yours. It takes off in the distance with a small scuttle, and you see it pop its head out of the garden and in and out of the bushes. You see blue wisp as it vanishes deep into the forest.
Alright. I guess I'll wait for Charlie to come back.
You named him?
Do I have a Patronus?
Petrobus?
What's a Patronus?
Spectre Patronum!
Yes.
Can I roll my iron boots to climb a tree?
Sure.
Is there a tree around us at least?
Yes, you're in a small clearing in the forest, so you can absolutely try and climb one of the trees.
I climb the biggest tree. 15.
15. That's enough to cast Iron Boots.
Cool.
So as you begin to walk up the tree, you feel a sort of wisp come over you. You all start to let your eyes grow heavier and heavier. Your motions become slower, more gradual.
It's gonna be the best time to climb a tree.
Everyone, can you give me a quick roll on a d20?
Wait, can I stop myself in the hand so I don't fall asleep?
First roll the d20. Do you want to call interference, Noey?
Why, should I?
I don't know, do you?
You don't have to. You
No,
can take
I don't
whatever
wanna.
roll is.
Okay. That was a 2.
Oh. Sure it wasn't a 20?
No, it was a 2. I
It could have
watched
been a
it.
20.
Alright. I think that's a 10.
Yeah, it's a 10.
Okay.
So I'll go with
So
tree.
Parker and Josh, despite your best efforts, you manage to stay awake. Noe, as you begin to walk up to the tree, you exert yourself far too much and you fall down to the ground, passed out, dead asleep.
Dead.
I'm dead?
Dead asleep.
That's not good.
Anyways, Noe, you've fallen asleep.
Okay.
You two are on your very last turn. The next turn you will fall asleep. What do you do?
Will cutting my hand keep me awake at all?
You can try it.
I want to.
I feel like I'm gonna stab my hand.
I want to instruct my familiar Charlie to wake me up if any. Only if danger's here.
Okay.
Like, if I fall asleep and if danger's nearby, to come up and wake me up.
Alright. So, as you hear that, you can see the wisps coming towards you, as you see the wisps of energy as it's running towards the castle. No, sorry, towards you. And as you see it come closer, your eyes droop and you fall asleep.
Alright. Let's hope that works.
I stab my hand.
You stab yourself in the hand, and as you look at the blood loss becomes too much.
Oh, bad idea.
Stupid.
You didn't know, I don't know. Work for him.
And
I
you
need
fall
to write
asleep.
that down in injuries, idiot.
Yeah, so now you have a wounded hand.
I feel like I didn't stab it hard though. Yeah.
No, but you still drew blood. It still hurts.
I've done a lot worse. Okay, believe me.
Hey.
I've split my head open 3 times.
You still hurt yourself. So yeah, right in injury. So you're all asleep. You all awaken with your hands and feet bound. Your items and armor have been stripped from you, and you look around and you see nothing but darkness.
Question.
Yes.
My beehive and my bee glasses that are technically attached to my body, but are also in my inventory. Do I still have them on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But that's it?
Do I have my cape? Do I have my iron boots?
Is my penis out?
Cool.
Yes.
Am I naked?
Do I have my teeth?
I don't
You're all
have
naked.
these.
Okay, fine.
I'm normally naked. I'm just not wearing this leather.
Even though I am a halfling,
Yes.
am I a halfling?
Are you asking if your penis is small?
It's good.
Roll a d20.
Can I roll a d20 for my penis too?
Oh,
Your
no.
That's
What is
that's a 4.
That's not good.
You have an average sized penis for a halfling?
Can I roll a d20 for my penis?
Sure.
Wow, this
A 1! That's the micro penis.
Josh rolled a 1. So, Josh, can you write in injuries micropenis?
Injuries.
That's it. Just write in injuries micropenis.
I'm not get a wife. She seems to love me so much, and we had great sex. I rolled a 20 for sex.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
did I do?
It was average sex, but for you, that's amazing. Alright.
Okay.
Are we alone, the 3 of us?
Well, you can't see anything.
We can't.
So one of you roll a perception check.
I'll roll a perception check.
Okay.
Can I detect life?
No, because your hands and feet are bound. So, Stephen the Heathen wiggles a little bit, and you can tell that he's got his arms bound above his head, his feet bound below him.
Man, what the fuck did Charlie do? He did shit all.
and you've got a blindfold on.
I can't summon Charlie.
Not without your hands or feet.
Can my bees slowly sting the blindfold off? Actually, the
Have them
bound
chew through
between
it.
my
Have
hands.
them chew through it.
So you're going to try and have your bees try to remove the binds on your hands?
Yes.
Okay.
All
You
6
command
of
your bees using your telepathic thoughts around your glasses. The bees fly out of the honey, the hive that you have hidden in your tree hair, and they fly down and they begin to pull away at certain parts of the knot. You try to command them to go back and forth, but you can tell it's going to take a while, but they might get it looser.
Okay.
Anything you...
Also, is Janice here?
Janice, your bird? You can't tell.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't have a way to command Janice anyway. She's just my friend.
Yeah.
So.
Janice is a little bird that lives in Parker's tree branches. Thundercat, what do you do?
Can I say hi? just
It's
anyone
not-
there?
it's not bad.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, what's up?
So do you say, hey, what's up, or hi?
Hi, hey, what's up? All 3.
Whoa.
Okay. As you begin talking, you feel a small chunk of meat hit the side of your face and then fall down.
Okay.
Was that my micropenis?
Maybe it was, Josh. We don't know.
I taste it?
No, it just hits the side of your face and
Okay.
falls. You don't know where it
I
went.
don't know, okay.
Rand, what do you do?
I look around with my mouth for the piece of meat.
You look around with your mouth?
It's on my face.
You can't move. You're bound.
Like, I thought it was just bound like hands and feet.
Your hands and feet are like this. Your hands are like above your head, tied to something.
Oh, the
And your
tattoos
feet
on the
are on the ground, also tied to something.
Never mind. I don't.
You got a problem, Parker?
Did you say you look around with your mouth? No, you don't.
I just start, looking at the floor and looking for things.
What?
You want to give me a perception check, but you're trying to use taste? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I'm not gonna do it now because I'm obviously tied up.
I taste enemies nearby. What are you gonna do? I don't understand.
All right.
Okay, instead, no, I want to do something.
Okay, what do you want to do?
Can I curl up a little bit to hide my micropenis?
No. Go the opposite way. Get
Actually,
them
no.
over.
Can I
Make them uncomfortable.
extend over to show my micropenis and hopefully they pity me?
So you're trying to writhe around and display your tiny penis
Yes.
in order that
pity.
for something to happen.
Yes.
Display.
Okay, give me a d20 roll.
Oh, nat 20. Oh, nat 20. Come on.
19.
No, I jinxed it.
19's way
You feel something small smack against you.
My penis?
It's just a small chunk of something hit you, and you hear someone yell, "Shut up!"
Where, though? Where does it hit me?
It bounces off of you. You don't know what it is.
But where does it hit me?
On the chest.
Okay.
Do I have any progress with my bees?
They've loosened the knot. You can try to break free now.
I wanna try to break free now.
Okay. Give me a strength roll. Your strength is currently 10, but let's see what the d20 adds. 17. So yeah. The bees have loosened the knot enough for you to rip your arms off. And you hear someone yell, "Hey! That one's free!"
I wanna quickly take my blindfold off.
Okay. Give me a speed roll real quick, just to make sure. Okay. As you peel up your blindfold, you see the the halfling.
Oh wait, before you say this, can I just say that as I see things, I want to tell them what I see out loud.
Okay.
Like, just so that their characters are aware of what's
Oh,
what
I
I'm
like
seeing.
this.
Okay.
There's a lot.
So you're trying to
Very
describe what you
smart.
see. Okay. So, the alchemist from the shop before and the strong buff man both grab your arms and they put them back up as the high elf tries to tie another noose around your hands and try to hold you back. They try to tie another noose. No, they just try to tie your arms back again. Can you try to resist their strength?
14.
Oh god.
Plus my strength.
Yeah, but their strength isn't enough.
Alright.
So you managed to push them both off, and you're standing up now, but your feet are just kind of really close together, and they're still tied to something.
Alright, can I try to break free?
Yeah, give me a strength roll.
I have a strength of 24, so I'm
While he's doing that, can I try
does.
to bust out of my feet bindings? Like,
Absolutely.
tie 'em?
Both of you give me a strength roll.
Can I play possum?
No, you're still tied up.
Still
So
play
yeah,
that.
I got a 23 total.
I had
Okay.
17 plus 24. Yeah.
Your arms are free. You're completely free.
Can I just start wildly punching?
You can't see anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Your arms flailing in front of you. Nothing really connects. You just feel yourself
Wait,
grinding.
Can I try to connect?
No, you're blind. You feel your arms scrape against wood and limestone. Sorry, just stone, not wood and limestone. That's redundant. You're scraping against stone and you're bashing against walls. Parker, you're totally free, and you can see that it's the merchant from the alchemist store, the one that was running around,
Alright.
and it's the buff man from the general store, and they're both wearing these black outfits with M sewn into the side of the jacket.
Okay.
I robbed the boat.
And it's just the two of them?
It's just the two of them holding you back, and you see they've got a small table with a few of your things on it, and a torch that's lighting up the entire cave that you're in.
Alright. Josh has his hands free, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but you can't see.
Can I provide feet?
But I can see that he has. Okay.
Yes.
I want to use growth to extend my arms
Okay.
And I want to wrap my arms around the two of them to subdue them.
Okay. For context, growth is an ability exclusive to phytoids in which they can grow a limb, and it is equivalent to how many feet they can grow is equivalent to what they roll on the d20. So go for it.
20.
Okay.
I
So
got an 11.
you're able to grab the high elf halfling, and you're able to lift him off the ground. And he's kind of struggling to move, but you've got him in too high up of a place that he can't quite get off. However, you couldn't quite reach the strong human, and he just kind of pushes you off.
Okay.
Can I try to break my feet loose?
What?
Can I try to break my feet loose?
Untie your feet.
Oh wait, yeah, no, I take off the mask.
Okay, so you removing that, you see Parker has you see Stephen the Heathen holding Jeremy in the air and batting his arm away at the human, but not quite connecting.
Am I close enough to the human?
No, get him free.
Oh wait, no. I turn around and get Noah's free.
So you start working on the hand binds, feet binds, or the
Hand
eyes?
binds.
Okay. So you tie off his hand. Thundercat, you just feel someone start ripping on the side of your hands, just pulling them apart. Roll strength, Josh.
Ouch. I don't like this.
I don't know. So I want to play pop.
17.
You come free of the binds, and you're both free, but you're both still bound by your feet.
Can I untie my feet?
No, take off your hand. The eye thing.
Okay.
Blindfold. It's called a blindfold.
Can I?
You remove the blindfold, and you can see Parker still fighting them.
Can I untie my feet?
Yes.
I need to roll.
Yes.
9.
You're starting to loosen the knot, but you're not quite there yet.
Okay.
Oh.
Can I take off mine? Can I do that same thing to my feet?
It's Parker's turn right now. So you've got Steven and you've got Jeremy in one hand, and
Jer Bear.
you see the human run back and grab your sword off of the table.
Oh shit.
Can I summon familiar?
Yes, you can try.
17.
That's enough.
Charlie.
Alright. I want Charlie the Gator to go and try to take the sword away from the human.
Just get him to fight. Gators are strong as shit.
Alright, I'll get him to fight.
Okay.
I don't know how strong he is. He's untested.
I feel like he's
So you extend your hand, and you see wisps of blue energy emit from every single one of your fingers.
Specto Patronum.
And out from behind you, with a few small steps Charlie the crocodile. As he guns towards him with his fast little run walk, he jumps in the air and claps down, or attempts to clap down, onto the human's arm that's holding the sword.
He does death roll.
He jumps, but he misses the arm as the human just sort of bashes him away.
Oh, Charlie.
Rand, it's your turn. What do you do?
Take out my feet binding and run naked at the guy.
Okay, well first, roll to see if you can untie your feet.
Fair enough.
So confident.
4. I was
Plus-
saying 24.
Okay. You just rip them off with your arm, and they just come loose as they're just simple cloth. And you take off running towards them. What's your speed?
My speed is 15.
Okay. You didn't need to roll for that, but whatever.
Well, whatever. I roll.
Alright, I'll take that as a fisticuffs roll.
I'll be-
So as you run towards him, you tackle him to
I
the
have a
ground.
skill. I have
So good though.
I have a proficiency in fisticuffs.
Cool. So you tackle him to the ground, and you pin his arms down, and the sword has dropped out of his hand. So you're currently just holding him to the ground. So you're holding the human down. You're holding Jeremy in the air.
Do we know
Can
his name?
I untie
Yes,
my
you do.
No,
From
the human.
the human, no.
Ask him his name, Josh.
What's your name?
What's your name? My penis
No,
pressing
it's
against
Noe's turn.
Can I untie my feet?
Give me a roll.
Can you be strong for us?
9.
Since the knot was already loose, you just kind of pull it apart, and it just kind of falls.
Can I go grab my shit?
Alright. So you run over the table. You find that over by the human is the iron sword, and on the table there is a fire rod and 2 arrows.
Where's the rest of our shit? I was just looking for some clothes. It's cold, man. It's nighttime, isn't it?
You're in a cave, so yeah.
Oh,
Wait, what is there? A fire rod and what?
A fire rod and 2 arrows? Or something?
Fire rod, 2 arrows, and the humans got the sword that was there.
I'll take the fire rod. This seems like
Is
fun.
that the only stuff in the room?
That's other than the torch on the wall, yeah.
So, like, any rope or anything?
You can maybe look. No, not much.
I'm trying to think of what we do with these 2 little wiener guys.
Let's just shoot fireballs at them.
Well, we tie them with the cloth that they
It's
tied us
interrogate.
with. If
Okay.
they tie us with the cloth, they obviously think it's strong enough.
Jeremy's gonna try to break free of your grip. With a might that's unbeknown to halflings of his size, he just pushes off your arm and he comes down and he starts running towards the fire rod.
What'd you
Let's
roll?
shoot a fireball at him.
He's just gunning for the table. He doesn't
I
quite
want
make
to tell
it.
Charlie to get the fire rod first.
I thought I grabbed the fire rod already.
You're at the table.
Yeah, the table. You haven't grabbed it.
Grab it. Get back to me later.
Josh.
Yes.
Rand continues to hold down the human as he squirms and he wiggles. He's trying to reach for the sword and he can't quite get it.
Can I punch him in the face?
Roll.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, well now it's your turn.
Oh, okay.
Roll fisticuffs.
Like, repeatedly, not just once. 11. Plus.
Around.
Yeah, so that connects. Roll damage. 1d4. As you're holding him down with one arm, you punch him in the side of the face, and you see blood starting to pour from his nose, and he just looks at you angrily. He attempts to spit in your face. It hits, and it just kind of, like, lays on your cheek.
Oh, now I get
Thundercat,
angry.
what do you do?
I get angry?
No, what do you do?
What? I grab the fire rod and I shoot fireball at Jeremy. Seems like a good idea.
Okay. So, you pick up the fire rod and point it towards Jeremy, and as he's running towards as he runs straight towards the fire rod, you see his eyes wide open as you point it towards him. Roll accuracy.
11.
And with the same irony that was used to melt his crate in the shop that you stole from, you watch as the magma ball emits from the fire rod and hits Jeremy square in the face as he disintegrates right in front of you into nothing but a pile of ash.
Okay, cool. Was he wearing any of my shit?
He was just wearing a black outfit with a gold monogrammed M.
Oh, I don't give a shit then. Wait, is his outfit still there?
No.
Oh. Damn it.
How far is the human from me?
Whose turn is it?
The human is a good, 5 feet in front of you.
Alright, I want to do an
I'm
extendo
intimidated.
punch with growth.
Okay, so first roll accuracy and then roll growth. You don't hit, but let's see if you even go that far. Okay.
Maybe I can hit him on the way back. Wait, so I missed him with a punch, but I extended really far.
Yeah.
15 feet. Could I just kind of sweep him?
Just try to, knock him away?
Yeah.
Okay. So, your arm
Pretty
grows...
sure that's just straight up, I stole that from Guardians of the Galaxy when Groot did that.
Yeah. So, your arm grows 15 feet, and it clearly goes way too far than it needs to. And you attempt to push him aside and just knock him into the side of the wall. Roll strength. 14 plus a strength of 10. More than enough strength to knock him flying into the side of the wall, cracking his skull on the side and rendering him unconscious.
Shit, I was gonna interrogate him.
He's bleeding.
Custom, I'm sorry.
Fun cushion.
You all stand up.
Can I pick his pockets?
Yeah, sure.
Pick his pockets. Do I need to roll for he's unconscious?
No.
Just a
You find a letter, and that's it.
Okay, what's it say?
As you open the letter, it says, meet at the usual spot at midnight. Don't be late.
I don't know what time it is now, though.
No.
No, Josh got the pocket watch.
We don't have anything.
Oh, fuck. Shit. Okay,
Okay, can I... So this guy's knocked out, right?
Yes.
Can I just kill him?
How would you kill him?
No, it's our only lead.
Should I keep him alive?
Keep him alive.
Okay, I'll keep him alive.
I say we...
Tie him up with a cloth! Oh.
No. I say we just leave him.
No, tie him with a cloth!
Leave him with
Tie
just...
him up.
Leave him with just his clothes.
No, tie him up. Make him naked,
And
tie him up.
then tail him to the spot.
No.
You all could,
We could tail him.
No.
Okay, so he's currently knocked out. You're in a mysterious place, so you have no idea where you are.
Yes.
He's laying unconscious. All you have in the room is a fire rod, which currently Noey has, the iron sword that you used to have Stephen. And 2 arrows that used to belong to Rand.
What was the cloth?
The cloth was stuff that was used to, like, tie you up. You guys can pick that up
Is
if you
there
want.
doors?
There's one door to the side on the opposite end of the torch.
Did you pick up the human?
It seems to be wooden, crudely made, and made with iron facets.
So I grab my arrows.
Okay.
I want to grab my sword.
Okay.
I tie his hands, just his hands, with a cloth.
Okay. So his hands are now bound.
So we
Okay.
can still follow if he wants to. But no, he can't attack us. He sees us.
So,
No, you can keep the fire rod for now, just so you have something to defend yourself with.
Okay.
so what do you guys do? You're currently in a mysterious room. The walls are made out of uneven
I
stone.
run, jump, and drop kick the door.
Which door? There's 2.
Can I shoot a fireball at the door?
There's only one door.
There's 1 door?
There's one door. It's a wooden door that's crudely made with iron facets.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
shoot
I
a
run,
fireball
jump,
at
and
it.
drop kick the
Can
door.
we just try to open the door with our hands?
Is it locked?
No, but I still want
If upon examining the door, you see it's just barred on your side, as if to keep other people from coming in.
Okay. Alright, go ahead, Josh. You do what you want.
Just open the
You
door.
want to try and just break open the door?
Yeah.
You can just open the door.
I want.
Okay.
It's probably easier to do that.
You take off running towards the door. Give me a strength roll. Okay, with that 10 and your strength of 24, you break through the door, leaving the iron hinges just hanging on to nothing in little chunks of wood. You fall on the ground, only to see there's more cave as it stretches on and it becomes a winding and twisting maze. However, towards your left, there is a small wooden chest.
Don't pick over the chest.
You're the one that's through there. Me and Noah haven't walked through yet.
Okay. Is the chest like just is a lock on the chest?
There's no lock on the chest.
I open the chest.
Alright, you open the chest. Inside the chest, you see... Can I see all of your inventory sheets?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
It's all good. Ugh. Alright. Alright. You find
You keep it going.
a multi-tool. 64 human teeth. A smoky pearl. A bag of seeds. Leather armor.
Is it my leather wristbands?
Yes. An iron bow. Several chunks of beef. And a bedroll.
I'll take all the stuff that's mine
Okay.
and tell them.
So you currently have a bow to shoot your 2 arrows.
Ooh.
You have your beef and your bedroll.
And then I assume, well, can I walk through?
Yes.
To the chest?
Mhm.
And I will grab what's mine.
Okay. So you have your smoky pearl back. You have your leather armor and your bag of seeds. Oh, also your 5 health potions.
Nice.
That's cold.
So Noey, the only things left in the chest are 64 human teeth, multi-tool, and 2 more health potions.
Cool. Am I still back in that room before where we were, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I grab the clothes off that guy, the shopkeeper that they fucked up?
The shopkeeper was disintegrated.
What?
You shot him with a fire rod.
No, I shot the little guy.
The human. He wants the human.
You won't
Oh,
fit
the
into
human clothes?
clothes?
You won't fit into human clothes. You're a halfling.
Oh, okay.
I mean-
can I just take a shirt?
You can attempt to hem them with some sort of crafting if you can explain your way out of doing that.
Never mind. I'll just grab the multi-tool, the teeth, and the potions, I guess.
Right.
What do you usually fight with, Noah?
I have
Dagger?
a double-edged.
But you don't have it right now.
I have a double-edged dagger. It's like gold and silver.
Okay, but you don't have it right now, so you can keep the fire rod.
Yeah.
Okay. So, upon continuing the journey, you twist down the other side of the cave. So from now on, you'll have to treat the entirety of this mission like combat. You can make your way down, or you can try to do a perception check, whatever you want to do.
Protect life. Sorry.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm pretty sure.
Jo-
I don't know.
Rand, you're first.
Not
Roll
pretty-
the die for detect life.
I'm definitely tipsy at least. Check life.
I believe that's enough.
That's a 9.
Yes, it is enough. A 9 is enough to cast Detect Life. So, you open up your third eye, and you're able to peer forth, and you see that there are 2 sort of life signals further down inside the cave.
I shoot my bow.
In just the direction of one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Roll accuracy.
Well, I only have 2, right?
You only have 2 arrows. Roll accuracy.
Never mind, I don't want to do it.
You don't wanna? Alrighty.
How far is each square?
5 feet.
Alright, that's fine. Do you guys just want to keep walking down? Just be alert?
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna walk.
Okay.
Be alert.
Alright.
Can I shoot a fireball
Stay alert.
straight down the
Stay
cave?
safe.
Just,
Okay.
just
You're
Just
just
for
shooting a
shits.
fireball straight down?
light it up a bit. I don't know. See what happens.
Okay.
10.
The fireball travels straight down, slowly illuminating the entirety of the cave as it travels. You see in brief flashes 2 men dressed exactly the same as they were. As the ball flashes past them, you hear them go, "Whoa!" as it zooms past them.
Whoa, that was awesome!
"Whoa!" And you hear them start to mutter in a language as they look back at where the fireball came. And that's the last you see of them before it passes.
Should we advance?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we're gonna advance.
Okay.
And we can't see them currently, right?
As you move closer, they begin to make out your shape in the distance. They go, "Hey! Did they have anything good?" And they begin to walk towards you.
Can I, yeah, come check this out.
Yes. You can.
Alright,
Do you wanna-
I'm gonna say, hey, come check this out. You see that fireball?
They begin to make a few steps towards you in excited hesitation. As they get closer, they start to realize, like, weird shapes coming off of what they think are their friends.
Can I shoot a fireball at them again?
Alright, roll accuracy, Noey. You can vaguely see the silhouettes of them.
11.
Okay. Hold on, I need
Come on,
that.
they're like right in front of me. Both of them.
The fireball launches forward and hits right in the chest of the one that's closest to you. It deals 4 damage, knocking him far back. As he stumbles back, he's sort of juddered, and the other one goes, "You need to watch where you're shooting that thing! It's kind of dangerous, you having it like that."
I still don't know what's outside.
I say, sorry, still getting used to it.
He says, "Why didn't you grab the torch? It's hard to see down here. We're worried. Don't shoot the thing anymore."
We should have grabbed a torch.
He helps his friend up, and they take a small precautionary step towards you.
Can I shoot another fireball?
It's Rand's turn first.
Fuck.
Josh, what do you do?
How dark is it?
You can barely see the outline of them, of like the 2 men approaching. Other than that, it's pure black.
How close would I have to be for them to notice me?
Say,
Like, good 10 feet.
like,
How
what
far
are your
are we
names
now?
again?
15.
Can I walk up like beside, like can I sneak a little bit?
You can attempt to roll sneak, yeah?
I'm going to sneak to get a little closer then.
Okay.
15.
Okay. So you disappear in against the wall. As you press up against the watery limestone of the cave, you can feel as it trickles small stalactites of water as it drops down on your face, but you press up against the side, and they can no longer make out your silhouette.
And I have 15 speed, so how far can I go?
3 squares on the grid.
Can I go right here without them noticing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so right here.
Okay.
Jeez.
You can't attack or anything, but that takes up your turn. Okay. Thundercat, what do you
I'm
do?
gonna shoot another fireball right now.
When is my turn?
It always goes in this order.
Ah,
Can I shoot a fireball?
Yes, you can.
only Josh.
It's dark.
That's a 2. The fireball just sort of bashes against the side of the wall and fizzles out with the slime that's cascading down. You watch as it bashes into the side of the wall and fizzles out almost immediately. But in that brief flash, they get a good look at what you look like, and they go, "Hey! Who are you? What are you doing down here? You don't have any clothes on."
Can we tell we're magicians?
No, it's
It's a
my
ma-
turn.
it's a
Shut
magic
the
trick.
fuck up.
It's Steven's turn. What do you do?
I say, Yeah, we're new here. We're just going to get outfitted with uniforms. Who are you guys?
They take a step further while saying, "It's a good thing you found us. We're kind of veterans around here. We're really well adjusted. We'll help you get what you need."
What are your names?
He said, I'm Colton. I've been here for about 3 years. This is my buddy Jaden. He's been here for 2. They're sort of walking a bit, still cautiously, because they know you have the fire rod, and they're not sure how far away you are. But they're getting pretty close.
Will they notice that we're the ones that they took?
We don't know. We don't know if it was just those 2
Can I
that took
stab
those.
one in the jugular with an arrow? Can I blind
Yes, you can, Josh. You can attempt that.
Shit.
So,
We
Ro-
were going for Colton or
first
the other guy?
first roll sneak. That's Jaden.
That's Jaden.
Jaden's closest to you, so roll sneak. Okay, you're still in sneak.
Colton's an ice.
You'll sneak. So you sneak up behind Jaden and try to stab him in the jugular with an arrow. Okay, that's a nat 20. So as Jaden walks blindly in the dark after getting up from the fireball and trusting his new friends, he just starts to get a look
But
at
they,
what
they stole us. They know who
he
we
starts to look at Thundercat's curly hair and the tree branches in the tree, and he starts to realize they're not the typical look of the recruits, and he goes, "Heh!" And as soon as he mutters even the smallest noise, the arrow pierces his jugular, comes out, blood spills, all without Colton noticing. And he falls to the ground in your arms, and you set him down lightly so he doesn't make a noise. And Colton goes, "Huh?"
Your move, Noah.
Can I shoot a fireball at the other guy?
At Colton?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Josh is right there. Don't fuck this up.
Okay. The fireball zooms past Colton, not even getting close to him. But it just kind of disappears in the distance. He's like, "I told you to stop shooting me with that thing! It's scary! We don't know what that shit does!"
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Alright. I want to try to do the growth restraint again.
Okay.
Also, I'm only just noticing that on my sheet I just wrote Goth with no R.
I use Goth. Alright, yeah.
Yeah, I want to restrain him because I want to be able to like ask him questions about where we are and who these people are. I don't want to just murder them.
Okay.
That makes sense. That was just
So should I roll for
like
length?
penis?
Yes, first roll for length, then roll for accuracy. So it grows out to like a cube in front of you. So you've got a long arm right now, but not very long, only 3 feet.
I could still take like a step though, right?
Yeah, you
Well, it's
can.
also 3 feet longer.
Yeah, so you can still move.
I have probably like 5 feet arms.
Yeah.
Alright, so since they didn't grow very long, I want to try to like walk to him and restrain him.
Okay. So just like here.
Yeah.
So as you walk up to him, you wrap your arm around his chest, and you lift him up in the air, and he's kind of like dangling, and he gets a good look at this savage tree person with the bee glasses.
Big smile.
A big smile, and he lets out a small cry. Ah! Ah! What's happening? Who are you? I don't know what's going on.
It's not my turn.
Rand, what do you do?
You can interrogate him a bit if you want, while you eat your Breyers ice cream.
I intimidate him.
Okay.
So I have 2 points for intimidation in my proficiency.
What are you gonna ask him though?
Profic.
He's already pretty intimidated.
Yeah,
You gotta ask him
he's
something.
restrained. You just gotta
Very
ask him
scared.
Well, I
stuff.
want to intimidate him more. Like I want to scare him before I ask him, so that he's
Okay.
good and scared. 8.
Okay. So, he hears a snarl coming out of the distance. He doesn't know where it's from because he hasn't come out of stealth yet. But he just hears like a low-key growl. And he's very concerned as to what's going on. He's still sort of scared as you lift him in the air. Thundercat, what do you do?
I ask him. Well, I intimidate. I gotta ask him questions.
I thought all you wanted to do was scare him.
No.
Alright, then ask him a question.
Okay, so I intimidate him, and I ask him, who are they, and why did they take us? And also where our stuff is.
Alright. He hears all 3 of your questions come out, and he's so bewildered and so confused. He goes, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what's going on. Where are we? What happened? What? And as he lets out that final what, suddenly, from out of nowhere, a cloak flies off of a third member as he stands behind you, holding the cloak in his hand. He goes, "Whoa, guys, we didn't want any trouble. Chill. Like, it's all good. Like, relax. If you're new recruits, we'll figure this out. You don't have to throw a fit."
They still think we're new recruits.
He doesn't know. He's just been in a cloak.
Can I check the pockets of the dead guy?
Was he in Thundercat's cloak?
He's wearing my clothes.
He very well could have been.
If he wasn't, I would shoot a fireball at him right now. I know that's my cloak. It's invisible.
You want that cloak.
I want that. That's like my whole thing. If not, I'm just some small guy that robs people.
Alright, okay. So you try to pick the guy that Rand killed?
Yeah.
Okay. On his person, you find your dagger, first of all. You get that back. You can find the same letter, and that's it.
Cool. Is my turn done, or can I still do something?
No, it's done after you pickpocket somebody.
Alright.
I say, well, who are you, and what's your position here, to the third guy?
The third guy says, "I'm only a level 3 magician. Like, 3rd rank, it doesn't matter. Like, you don't... It's okay, but we can help you. Don't worry. We're not gonna hurt you or anything."
Should we ask for his shit back?
Okay, wait, I still want to talk to him. I want to say, why does the Magicians Guild kidnap people?
Well, he was like, "We're tricksters, you know, it's cool." He's starting to, like, take a few steps towards you. You know, we're just, you know, fun little trickster guys. It's what sets us apart from wizards. We gotta, like, you know, take shit and stuff. It's just our code, you know?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fair. While I'm holding the other guy, can I check his pockets?
Just like with the other hand.
Just reach in, tickle him a bit.
As you reach in, you find your piccolo.
Oh, nice.
And the same letter. It's new to you, but you still find it.
Yeah.
Okay. Suddenly, out of nowhere, in walks Charlie the Crocodile as he runs in from the room before, and he tries to chomp down on the one holding the cloak. Oh, he gets him in his jaws, and he bites down hard on his stomach, dealing...
Charlie.
He grabs him and bites down for 4 damage, and just twists him and knocks him on the ground.
Yeah, death roll. That's all alligators do.
He's a crocodile.
Same shit.
He lets out a blood-curdling cry as you can hear just the alligator chomp down with his phantom teeth. So you got one guy being chewed by a crocodile and one guy being held in the air. What do you do, Rand?
Is there one guy right now that's unrestrained?
Yes, he's currently being eaten by a crocodile.
Okay, he's fine. I'll leave him alone. Good luck. No, I go and check his pockets for anything.
The guy that's being, like, chewed apart?
Yeah.
What do you got? What do you got here?
Yeah.
You find a top hat that's got punctured holes from being chewed on by a crocodile.
Anything else is done?
No, that's it. I mean, the same letter.
I take the top hat and the letter, and then I slap him real quick.
Just smack him on the way out?
Yeah. Because I know
Alright.
my pickpocket's done.
Roll fisticuffs.
Yeah!
With just a quick smack, you just kind of graze his face. It doesn't really do damage, but it definitely disorients him.
Good.
He's so confused by what you do.
Why did you do that?
Can I take the guy's cloak back? Like my cloak back from the guy?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Fortunately, his hand was in the air, and it wasn't in the midst of the crocodile attack. But you take the cloak back, and now you have your cloak.
Can I stab him as well?
He's pretty close to death, but you can stab a dead body if you want.
Nah, I just
I
wait
want
it
to
out.
stab it.
Now that you have your cloak and your dagger back, can I have the fire rod back?
Yeah, can I give him the fire rod?
Sure. You run back to Steven and bestow him the fire rod.
Cool.
Yay. So now I think I'm still missing maybe a couple things? Yeah.
You piccolo.
No, I got that.
Okay.
I'm missing a silver chalice of boiling honey, a tower shield, 3 jars of honey. I asked the guy, I'm restraining the guy, and I say, we're the people you took. Where's the rest of our stuff?
He says, "Listen, man, we're just one of the many caves around here. We were just told to hold you up in here until the boss came back."
Who's the boss?
He's not able to say it. He tries to stutter and he can't quite say the words out.
Where is the boss?
He sort of nods his head that way and directs towards the small glimmer of light you see outside the cave.
Alright. Did you guys all hear that?
Yes.
The boss is towards the glimmer of light outside the cave. Should we go there?
Yes.
What do we do with this last guy? Because the other guy's dead, right?
Yeah, the other guy just died being chewed up by the crocodile.
Charlie's still here.
Charlie fades away after
for the
you.
guy.
Okay, ask him. He's returning.
Where's our fucking money? That's a lot of money.
All gold is offered. It's all in offerings.
Where's that?
He gestures with his head.
Towards the boss?
He's all he's got left.
To where? To where? To where?
If the boss doesn't have it already, it's out there.
Okay. Alright. Let's go get our money.
What do you guys want to do with him?
I want to get our...
Go fuck up the boss and kill the last guy.
You want to kill this last guy?
We
Hold it?
circumcise him
I'm still
and
holding
kill
a
him?
guy.
Oh,
Circumcise him?
Yeah.
Why would?
Do we have some time?
I mean, you can. I won't stop you.
What'd you say?
He wants to circumcise the guy that you're holding in the air.
What? How do you know he's not
Why?
already
Why do you
circumcised?
want? Like, do you want skin? Like, what do you want that for?
It's just it's a power move. It's just show
A power move. All right. No, wait. Okay.
You're not Jewish.
You take off his pants.
Wait, can I wear his clothes?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't usually wear clothes. Josh, you want to wear his clothes?
You just give him the pants. I don't want to see that micro penis anymore.
I want it for my own clothes. I'll be naked right now.
All right. This guy can continue wearing his clothes.
I'm proud of my
Okay.
penis.
So, you hold him in the air. As you're holding him in the air, Thundercat removes his pants, sharpens his blade, and proceeds to try and circumcise the foe.
Very shocked.
Although he doesn't know what's going on. So if the roll is below a 10, he's just going to castrate him straight up. Like, just cut it all off.
Jeez.
Ooh.
If it's above a 10, I'll say that he did it.
Okay.
Noey, are you prepared to make the dice roll?
Yes.
Okay, go for it. 11.
What is
So-
this for again? Oh, this is for the circumcision?
So
Completely forgot about that.
Yep.
with the bare minimum done
Fucked up.
and the absolute least amount of precaution made, you manage to somewhat perform a circumcision. And by that, it just means you take like a small chunk off of his penis. Congrats.
On the head or the skin? Does he take the skin?
The skin. Congrats.
Why?
You have a chunk of a foreskin.
Why?
Put in your inventory.
I don't want it.
No. Put it in your inventory. You did this to
Put that
yourself.
shit in your inventory.
I bestow it
In your
upon
inventory.
Rand.
No! I
Put
don't want
it
your
in your
penis
inventory.
flat.
Put it in your inventory.
No, your inventory.
Alright.
Where's the necklace? Put on
You
the,
did
Put on
this.
your necklace.
Use it as a bag and put your teeth in it.
Okay. So, as the blood...
What?
He just bleeds out. Can we just kill him off? He suffered.
Please?
Yeah, he bleeds out from the makeshift circumcision that was just a brutal killing. He's really sad. He just kind of dies sadder than he could ever possibly imagine. And you make your way towards the end of the cave.
Alright.
On your way out, you make it to this big clearing of the cave where it's giant, and outside you can see foliage that you've never seen before. Bit lush greens and purple plants and red flowers.
You gotta hurry up now.
You've never seen
Hell.
any of these sort of things before. And once you peer out, you see a small leather pouch. Leather pouch made out of some sort of fur, and inside is the rest of your items. And on top, there's a small piece of wood, cruelly carved offerings into it. And and everything else is just in the small leather fur pouch.
Alright.
Let's grab her shit.
I say we go fast, though. Roll to run fast.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Josh, do you want... You have Detect Life, right?
Also,
use that?
detect
Yes,
I
Detect
don't
Life.
have it.
As you roll to detect life, you just are filled with all the life that's out there.
Oh,
There's so many red dots you can't even comprehend it.
it's like bugs and shit.
However, You're unable to tell exactly what it's from.
Can I roll detect life too?
Absolutely.
Also a 10.
You sense the exact same feeling. You and Rand share a look as you're both concerned about your current location and placement.
Alright, I want to run up and take my shit.
Me too.
Real fast.
Okay.
Same.
All of us.
So all of you quickly grab the rest of your stuff. You're fully equipped. You're wearing your clothes. You're all good.
I never wear clothes.
Well, you're wearing your little leather
I was already wearing
armor.
those. But yeah, I am wearing them.
Okay. So as you all take off running, you make for inside the forest. You're pushing back weird leaves and giant bugs that you just smack out of the way. And some of the weirdest plant life you've ever seen. And you come to a clearing in the woods. It's oddly similar to your clearing that you slept in last night. It's different somehow. The grass is thicker and higher. The trees grow taller. And there are weird dashes inside of the grass. You just see small little lines darting back and forth, back and forth.
Are the magicians and illusionists that created the Manticore? Are they the Manticore?
Maybe.
Can I pause them?
I'll roll a die.
I can do that again.
So excited.
Shit!
No.
Is that good?
So you fall over. The cloak doesn't quite cover you, and you're exposed laying on the ground.
Okay.
You hear a cry come out of the distance. It's something that's just so foreign to you. You've never even contemplated a noise like this being made by anything in your life. You look around, and it's silent.
I run full sprint to the noise.
I wait. Let's see what happens.
Give me a perception check to see if you know where the noise is coming from. Okay. So you are able to determine it's in the north. So hold on, I'm going to set it up in a little battle area here on the map. So you make your way towards the north. What's your speed?
15.
Okay. As you run, you push grass aside. It's tall and green and up to your eyes. And you're just pushing it aside. And you're currently standing, surrounded by grass. Unbeknownst to you where your friends are, where you are, where anything is. All you know is you're in the clearing.
Yeah.
The noise happens again. It's a shriek almost. Bird-like almost. Just something about it isn't right. It's loud, it's piercing. And once again, silence. You hear a small rustling as it runs across.
You guys know anything?
And then dead silence. Noey, it's your turn.
I'm gonna possum.
Roll a
What'll
die.
happen this time? I got a good feeling.
Once again, you try to pull the cape over you, but it seems to be not working. Maybe it's because someone else wore it. Maybe because he smelled awful and the stench is still on it. Something about the cape just doesn't seem to want to work for you right now.
Nearly rolled 19.
Stephen the Heathen, what do you do?
So he doesn't need the cape. Does he still appear dead to us?
You just see him fall over. But you
Remember
don't.
His last thing was that he just always appeared dead.
Well, if he successfully pulled off possum, he would. Much like a possum plays possum.
Yes.
Alright, so
Did he successfully pull it or no?
No.
I'm a little spooked. So I'm going to prep for battle. And that I want to summon Charlie again.
Okay.
And I also want to use Oak Flesh.
Okay.
Which is, I get armor plus 5. But if I have to roll a d20, and if I roll below 10, then my speed is reduced.
Okay. You can roll one of those spells for this turn.
Okay.
Okay. Roll a d20. You play a small jaunty tune on the piccolo. A wisp of the gas comes out at the end, and it just fades into the distance.
Oh, your expected patronum failed.
I don't play the piccolo enough.
Suddenly, Josh, you hear a noise surrounding you. It's a rustling. As it runs around and around and around, it just gets faster and faster and faster. It just gets heavier and louder. Their feet steps, you could tell. They're loud and they're surrounding you and they're everywhere and you have no idea what's happening. And then they freeze.
full sprint at where they froze.
As soon as you take off running, a raptor jumps out of the ground and bites down onto your shoulder.
What?
The raptor misses and it skids off into the other side of the grass and it vanishes. You're very clear. You know that was something you never experienced in your world before. As it just vanishes past you.
Full sprint back at Parker.
Look at me.
You don't know where they are anymore. You're so disoriented.
Take life.
Go ahead, try. You can pinpoint where Parker is,
Not 20, come on.
and you can pinpoint where the raptor is.
Bow and arrow, shoot the raptor.
Your turn is over.
Fuck me balls.
Can I try detecting life?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it seems like a good idea.
You sense Josh over in the distance, but you also sense something behind you.
A possum?
You can attempt it.
Yeah, I'll try it again. Third time.
That's why it didn't work.
Third time.
It's not gonna work.
Go for it.
Shits!
It's not gonna work.
You again fall over. You're unable to pull the cape onto you. Something about the enchantment must be off. It's gotta be something weird. You have no idea what's going on anymore. Steven, it's your turn.
I can't see any enemies, correct?
No.
Alright, I don't have detect light. So, can I...
There's one behind us.
Can you give me that information?
Yes.
Yeah, I just told you.
Alright. I want to try to summon Charlie again with the intent of getting him to go fight this enemy.
Okay.
That I don't know what it is.
That is just barely enough. That's an 11.
Alright.
So, out of your piccolo, there forms the familiar energy of Charlie the crocodile. As he comes back out, you see him dart immediately into the grass. As you hear some roaring from Charlie, some roaring from the monster as it squeals out at you, you hear silence again. The wisp dies out. Behind you, another raptor jumps over Noey and it lands directly in front of him. It stares both of you down as it opens its mighty jaws and lets out a and it looks at both of you.
Can I cut at it?
It's eyeing both of you up.
Damn.
The other raptor comes out of the grass and forms next to it, and it stares back at Josh. So one's facing towards Rand, the other's facing towards the two of you.
Whose turn is it?
It's Rand's.
Okay, shoot the ones facing at them.
You can certainly try.
You always only 2 arrows, or do you have more?
No, I have more arrows now.
Those are just the two you had.
Yeah.
The 12 hits, and it deals. The arrow skids across the scales of the raptor. It lets out a small squeal and flames its tiny limbs at you. Then continues to look at the other two.
No, your turn.
Can I just, like, slice at it with my dagger?
You can try.
Let's see how this goes.
So you run up at the raptor and try to slice it. Alright. You run up to the raptor and you slice at its neck. And it digs in, dealing 2 damage as it cuts through its throat. It lets out a squeal and it stares back at you. And it attempts to bite back immediately onto your shoulder. 15. It does, and it deals... It deals 3 damage with its powerful jaws. And it bites in, and it puts its feet on yours, and it makes sure you aren't moving anywhere.
What is the damage for fireball? So I have written down.
It does 1d4.
Alright, I want to, I'm gonna try to slice at it with my sword.
Your sword?
2 hands, yeah.
Okay. So, pull out your sword and try to cut it. It's okay. It's 15. That hits. You're trying to hit the one that's on Noey, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, roll damage. 1d8. Okay. As you cleave into the raptor. It deals 5 visual damage as it cuts the head clean off of its short, stubby neck. Its head flies off into the distance. The raptor is dead, and Noey is left bleeding with his arm in serious damage.
No. No.
The raptor looks at its fallen brethren, and it's staring you down. And it jumps and attempts to slash at you with its powerful back claws. It hits, dealing... It only manages to chafe at your bark, only dealing 1 visual damage. Rand, it's your turn.
I shoot with bow now.
Okay.
Wow.
Roll accuracy.
Real original.
I shoot the bow in the eye.
Alright, go for
Fuck
it.
you.
The arrow flies past him.
It's Noey.
As you only rolled a 2, the arrow flies past the dinosaur and just disappears into the grass.
Wowzers.
Thundercat, your turn.
Can I run away?
You can try and run away and possum, yeah?
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. I'll run away, and then I'll possum. I'll run
Okay.
I can run 8 spaces. Go 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'll possum. Shit.
Alright. You managed to run away far enough that the raptor doesn't notice you. However, you were unable to successfully turn invisible.
Get it.
Parker, your turn.
Alright. Now I'm gonna slash at this raptor.
2-handed?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh wait.
Do I have my sword back?
Yes.
If I slash only one-handed, can I also hold up my shield? My power shield?
Yes.
Alright, I wanna do that. I wanna do one-handed slash and hold up my shield.
Okay. Alright.
And hold up my shield.
As you hold up your shield, your sword slices towards it. However, you swing too high and it misses the raptor as it ducks down. It opens its jaw wide as it stares at you, and it goes to jump at you. And suddenly, a flash of smoke lands in front of the raptor. It's thick and black, and no one can see a thing. The raptor lets out a few coughs and a sort of a shriek as it takes off, running back into the distance. You turn around to see the grass is on fire, and it scorches and burns away faster than you could possibly react. And you're left in a clearing. And you turn around to see your old friend Timtam standing behind you in his wizard hat and his long cloak. And behind him comes a man in a backpack, and he steps out and he says, "You guys seem to be in a right old pickle, don't you?"
Timtam! Woo!
And to hear the rest of the journey, you'll have to tune into episode 2 to find out where they are, what's going on, and why raptors are there.
Woo!
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please consider dropping a like if you enjoyed the video, or subscribe if you'd like to watch the next episode when it comes out right away, or follow us on Spotify if you'd rather listen to it. I hope you all have a good day. May your 20s be natural, and please, take care.